Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Language Arts Gallery. Today I am going to talk a little bit about the components of an academic essay. And we're going to start with how we build out the foundation of an academic essay and how we recognize the parts of an essay question that's asking us to write an opinion essay. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started here. Okay, so first of all, the foundation of academic writing is argument. We know that. Okay, so argument's influenced by culture. Rhetoric is influenced by culture. In English, the argument needs to be clear and it needs to be direct. So this lady is saying, just tell it to me straight. That's what we want to do in our English academic essays. We want to tell our audience directly what our argument or our thesis statement is. Okay, so English is what we call a writer-responsible language. Now, this is opposite of a reader-responsible language like Japanese. So our productive skills in English are speaking and writing. And languages that are reader-responsible or listener-responsible, they rely on the person reading our writing or listening to what we're saying to make meaning from whatever it is that we're producing, whatever language we're producing. But language that is writer responsible or speaker responsible, that relies on the person who is producing the language to ensure that the meaning is clear. So English is a writer responsible language. It's our job to ensure that our writing is clear and direct. So this is not the case in all cultures. I just gave an example earlier with Japanese. Remember, keep in mind that there's no one right way. Okay, it's not that the way we write English academic essays is best and we always have to do that. We need to keep our audience in mind. Audience awareness is important. So when you're writing for an English-speaking audience, you want to ensure that you're conforming to the rhetorical features of English academic writing. And that means that you're direct in how you present your argument. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about essay testing. It's important to know the question and know what the question is asking. So here's an example. Is technology making our lives better or worse? State your opinion on either side of the issue. Do not list pros and cons in a clear, well-organized 5-paragraph essay. So this is asking us to choose a side. Is it better or is it worse? Right? We have to choose one of the sides. So you need to make an argument on either side of that issue. And this argument is going to be evident in your thesis statement. So let's take a look at what this thesis statement might look like for an essay like this. Would it be A, technology has both benefits and drawbacks? B, technology may be positive or negative, depending on how it's used? Or C, in my opinion, technology has made our lives infinitely better? Which do you think would be the best thesis for an essay like this? C, right? The author is clearly giving his or her opinion in this example, right? When we look at the first one, technology has benefits and drawbacks. Well, yeah, that's certainly true. I agree with that, but that's not what the question's asking us, right? It's asking us to choose. Technology may be positive or negative depending on how it's used. Well, you know what? I absolutely agree that that's true. I think there are numerous examples of how technology has been a positive force in our life and numerous examples as to how it's been negative. But again, the question's not asking us that. It's not saying evaluate the statement that technology is making our lives better. No, it's saying, is it better or is it worse? Choose one of the sides. And the only thesis statement that does that is the third one. So after you create a strong thesis statement, you want to make sure that the focus of your essay, the body, supports the thesis. Don't spend too much time talking about the other side of the argument. You can mention it briefly. For example, you might mention that there are positive and negative impacts as you introduce the topic. Or as you're outlining your thesis map. But you don't want to focus too much on the other side, because then you're going to confuse the reader. And this guy is saying, what exactly are you trying to tell me, right? Think about that. If you were talking about in your thesis, if you were talking about how technology is positive, and then your essay, the body of your essay went on to talk about all the negative aspects of technology, your reader would be confused. So make sure that your body, it backs up whatever your thesis statement is. So I want to illustrate an example, and I use this with my students. Imagine you're applying for a scholarship and you ask a teacher to make a recommendation for you. You want your argument, you want your teacher's argument, I should say, to be very clear in favor of you receiving this scholarship. So let's take a look. Imagine your teacher goes in and they're going to argue on your behalf that you should receive this scholarship. And they say, I'm so happy to recommend this student for the scholarship to attend State University. Let me start by saying he has an excellent academic record. He's received all A's in his coursework. He also has a strong history of publishing research. All really good things right there. That's all. Those are all things that indicate that this person should receive the scholarship. They're all things that are in favor of that person receiving the scholarship. Then the teacher goes on to say, however, I have some serious concerns related to this student's ability to succeed at this university. At times, I wonder if his work ethic is strong enough to succeed in this field of study. He's often late with his assignments, and sometimes I need to force him to resubmit his work. He also struggles to attend class consistently. Okay, wow. All of these things here, these do not sound good. Despite these concerns, I think he can still do well in this program. I strongly recommend him for this scholarship. If I was this student, I would be shocked, okay? You do not want to focus too much on the other side or on negative aspects. Think of yourself as being a lawyer, right? You want to focus on your side of the argument, right? If you were in court and you started highlighting information that could damage your client's chance to win, you wouldn't be a very good lawyer, right? So you want to focus on the things that support your argument. Okay, so let's take a look at the structure of an essay, and we're also going to talk about a thesis map. So you want to start with your argument, and this is particularly important when you're writing in a standardized testing environment. Okay, our question asked us, is technology positive or negative? I have my thesis statement here, and that is highlighted in purple. It is clear that technology has had a tremendously positive impact on people's lives, right? So that's my argument, and I need 3 big points to support it. My 3 points are improvements in healthcare, transportation, and education. 1, 2, 3. So once I get that thesis and those 3 main points, I've got a really good skeleton or really good structure for my essay. I've got my thesis map or my roadmap here. Okay. I introduce the topic. Well, there's debate about the net impact of technology on humanity. The benefits to healthcare, transportation, and education are undeniable. Then I've got my thesis. Now, because I know these 3 big points, healthcare, transportation, and education, I've got my topic sentences right here, right? Technology has led to incredible advancements in the field of healthcare. Technology has made transportation faster, more comfortable, and more convenient. The availability and quality of education has dramatically improved as a result of technological advancements. So there are my topic sentences for body paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. So that part of my essay is done. And I've got my summary, right? Here's my restatement of my thesis, and here's my summary: healthcare, transportation, and education. So all those parts are completed. That whole outline is completed just by knowing my thesis, which is it's clear technology has had a positive impact on people's lives, and my 3 reasons to support it: healthcare, transportation, and education. So I've really gotten a good start on my essay. The rest of it is just filling in the missing pieces of the puzzle. I need to hook the reader or engage the reader. I need to introduce the topic. Well, there's debate about the net impact of technology on humanity. I need 3 supporting details, and I have here an example for the first body paragraph. You're talking about technology in healthcare. You might talk about diagnosis, medications, or telehealth, right? So whatever details you choose to add, you would add those to each of the body paragraphs. Then you just need to build in transitions to begin with, further, finally, in conclusion, and end your conclusion with a concluding thought. If you're writing in a time testing environment, don't worry too much about hooking the reader or having a concluding thought. It's always great if you can, but don't spend too much time on this. Okay, so if you find yourself under time pressure in an exam, always review the rubric if possible. Think about where your points are coming from. Create that skeleton that we just talked about, and practice. Do your homework under timed essay conditions. If you're writing an essay for homework, set the time for however much time you're going to have for that test. If you have an hour to write your essay, set your timer for 1 hour to complete your homework. Okay, so the most important thing is focus on understanding the structure and the organization of academic essays.